And
Pretty dope.
Stan, a level up is a full rest?
Yeah, because you guys took, no, not a full rest. You guys took a short rest.
We took a short rest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
That's alright, I got something for everybody.
We still have 3 reviews.
Yeah, I still have all my second level spells. I have only one person.
They're very important. Don't die. This man's talking bad shit today.
Alright, welcome guys. Thank you for coming. This is going to be session 6 of the Curse of Strahd campaign. I know we got people who probably are watching at home on Twitch. We apologize if our voices aren't as clear because of these masks. We will try to speak slowly and loudly and articulately so you can understand what's going on. The Twitch stream is being monitored by Walter Ortiz. So if there are comments or questions you have, type it in the chat section and he will relay it to us. I also wanted to give a shout out to all the soccer moms who are inquiring. Hi, what's up, soccer moms?
Hi.
I don't know.
So it's been a while since we played. I'm going to do a recap. Before I do the recap, I am Stan Smith. I'll be the Dungeon Master for this session. Before we do a recap to get everybody up to speed, I'm going to go around the table and the players are going to introduce themselves and the name of their character and what the type of character is. It'll be really simple. So with that said.
My name is Giovanni. I'm playing Cassian. He is a swashbuckler rogue, and he's the pirate of the group, and hopefully he doesn't die today.
Drew. My name is Mike. I'm playing a half-orc barbarian. Hoping also I don't die.
Yeah. I'm Anthony. I play Joy, the lore bard, who is the mother to like the weird puppet Piddlewick.
Piddlewick.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Piddlewick is, be more than happy to jump on Google, do Strahd Piddlewick, and you'll see this creepy little puppet that attuned or bonded with the character Joy, which is played by Anthony Malia.
Yeah, I know.
Sir.
I'm Dan. I play Bran Martikov. He is a Bear Raven. He is a native of Barovia. And he has joined the party, hoping to not die.
He's my best
Hoping
friend.
not to die.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Ma'am?
I am Severa I'm Kelsey playing Severa, a grave cleric. And these are my party members, and I will not let them die tonight.
Thank you.
Last and definitely not least, actually the hero from the last session, sir.
Our friend.
Hello, my name's Travis. I play Tonic Grimsword, Paladin of Torn.
Woo!
Okay, I have a recap for those of you who are watching at home and for you players because it's been a while. So hopefully this will get you up to speed in regards to where we are and where we're going to be at. So. By the way, this is the Strange Realms. Support them on Patreon, Facebook, or even come by the store and visit. They have a lot of cool shit here, really great prices. The owner, Robert, he'll hook you guys up best he can with discounts, especially if you buy in bulk or whatever. And it's a very friendly place to come. It's in Tampa. So, with that said, here we go. Nearly a week ago, 5 strangers became trapped within the deadly fogs of Barovia. It's a dark land of foul beasts, the walking dead and the lord of vampires, Count Strahd von Zerovich. The only way to return home is with Count Strahd's permission or upon his death, and the Lord Vampire will give neither. Realizing the Vampire Lord must be defeated if our party wants to return home, our adventurers turn to a Vistani fortune teller for help. While reading their fortunes, our adventurers receive information how to defeat the Devil Strahd. Some of our heroes were tasked to locate powerful allies, others to receive valuable information on Count Strahd's history, and others where Count Strahd is most vulnerable. However, the gypsy woman did provide cryptic information about the location of a holy artifact and a sword of pure sunlight. As our adventurers traveled through Barovia, they came in contact with a woman named Irina. Irina bore an uncanny resemblance to Count Strahd's first love from many centuries ago, Tatiana Fedonova. In an effort to protect Irina from Count Strahd's grasp, our players escorted Irina to the walled city of Valaki. While en route to Valaki, they arrived at a decrepit old windmill called the Bone Grinder. It's a nasty, and it was also home for a nasty witch, Morgantha, or she goes by the name Granny. It is here where our team met with a lone were-raven named Bran Mardukov, played by Dan. Now, were-ravens, they can change shape like a werewolf. They can change into a raven or a hybrid man or raven. Bran, he was unfortunately being framed for the disappearance of a powerful artifact called the Holy Symbol of Ravenkind. Since this holy symbol, this artifact, went missing, Bran knew that he needed to find the only type of person that can harness the power, which is a human cleric. So Bran allied himself with the players, more specifically with Sevra, the lone cleric to this group. Bran believes that the players will help him find the missing holy symbol of Ravenkind. But also, Bran wants to relinquish this powerful artifact to Sevra, even if it costs him his life. When Bran exposed himself as a were-raven to win the trust of the party, he's been branded as a label, or he's been labeled as a traitor by his own people. You see, were-ravens are very secluded, and they try to keep up a masquerade that they don't exist. But now, because Bran stepped out, because he believes in this party, he's been shunned and belittled by his own people. So he's on a mission as well to clear his name. So, risking life and reputation, Bran allied himself to this group, believing with all his heart, Sevra is the key to stopping Count Strahd von Zarovich. Now, eventually our players arrived at the town of Valaki and met a famous vampire hunter, Dr. Rudolf van Richten. Dr. van Richten uses the fake name of Rictavio the Great because he knows Strahd would be looking for him due to his reputation of killing vampires. Dr. van Richten agreed to watch Irina at a local church within this town while the players go out and search for items to destroy Count Strahd von Zarovich. Now, during our last session, which some of you may have seen, our group arrived at an old monastery called the Abbey of St. Markovia. Within the abbey, they came in contact with a deranged scientist and former priest, Dr. Anton Gressenstein. Upon discovering or noticing his horrific experiments that he was conducting on men, women, and children, the party, they confronted him. A battle ensued, especially with some of the experiments inside the abbey. A huge inferno occurred. The abbey burnt to the ground, barely escaping with their lives, though. Thanks to the divine efforts of Tonic the Paladin, our adventurers came across a hidden path leading to an abandoned winery called the Wizard of Wines. The winery in question stopped producing wine several months ago. It wasn't until our group located the Mardukov family hiding in the woodline near the winery, that they were provided information. Now, the Mardukovs are a family of were-ravens like Bran, same bloodline, and they're held by their eldest member, Davian Mardukov. He's the owner of the winery. It is at this moment, today, our players learn that something evil lurks within the winery, and the Mardukov family stays hiding in the woods with fear to go forward. So, our adventurers must make a decision today, people. Move forward to investigate the winery, or return to Valaki, where Dr. Van Richten and Irina await. Ladies and gentlemen, session 6, here we go.
It's brick. It kills everything. We need something underneath it, so we can do that. Exactly.
That's a fire.
That's the fire.
The winery itself is surrounded in a wooded area, and it's very dank. Right now it's about late afternoon. There are thick rain clouds, and rain is pouring. Everyone's wet. The players are huddled together in a tree line overlooking the winery. As the rain continues to fall throughout these dark skies, each of you watch from the tree line as you see several animated scarecrows slowly patrolling the winery grounds. As the rain pours from the rims of their floppy hats, you clearly see red arcane energy pulsating from their dark eyes. Subtle growls and moans can be heard coming from these scarecrows, but it's nearly impossible to understand. Do any of you have Infernal as a language?
Nope.
Infernal?
Okay. Occasionally, as these staggering scarecrows walk to and fro, a scarecrow would trip over a body lying between the rows of grapevines, but somehow the scarecrow would tip and right itself up without falling over and continue its slow patrol through the ground. Now, from where you're at, each of you can tell that each scarecrow, besides these large floppy hats, on each of their fingers are these makeshift knives of all different sizes. They don't take notice of you, but they're up to something. Throughout these fields, you also see many dead people lying in the grounds and ravens. Just beyond the winery itself is the winery itself, beyond these grapevines. It's a modest two-story building with multiple entrances and thick vines that cover the walls. There's a muddy trail that ends at an open loading dock to the west side, next to a wooden stable, or to the east side rather. At the center of the winery is a single door with several steps that lead up to it, and planks of wood can clearly be seen at this door as if they were trying to keep something from coming in or something from coming out. West of the winery is the veranda. It's missing its roof, but you do see 3 large wooden tubs. It's probably where they stored some of the grapes before they're mashed. And just beyond the wooden tubs are 2 large bay doors. You also notice a crumbling well and an outhouse to the west of the winery. Within the tree line to your left is the Mardukov family huddled together, watching to see what your next moves or actions will be. One of the members, known as Andrei Mardukov, pulls over a young child named Vigo. Andrei, with a sinister look, not caring about the weather, the rain dripping in his face and his hair strands dangling, drops to a knee and puts his arm around this young 9-year-old boy. Andrei, with a sarcastic look, points over to your party, and he's obviously whispering something to this young child. Now, to hear in this weather, you guys, I want to go around the room. I'm going to do a perception roll. It's really high, but Bran, you're going to get advantage on this roll. So we're going to start over here with Cassidy.
7.
Nope. Nope. Oh, was it 20?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a 10.
20.
Oh my, no shit.
Yo.
Let's get rid of that early, people.
24.
Oh, geez. All right.
19.
Yep.
14.
The rain is too much for you guys. You hear mumbling, but the rest of you, you clearly see, you clearly hear and see Andrei Mardukov basically talking smack to this child about you. And you hear him say, "Do you see, Vigo? Your traitorous Uncle Bran and his pathetic friends hide in the trees. They do nothing. They are cowards like him." But the young boy looks perplexed, and he says, "But Uncle Andrei, I am confused. The paladin is no coward. He is from my dreams. He is brave and good of heart." When he says that, a woman with a hood steps forward. "Come, Vigo!" And she grabs the child and starts pulling him back into the woodline. Andrei Mardukov gets up with a snide look and looking daggers directly at Bran as he goes back into the tree line. But the child, in a last-ditch effort, straightens his head outward and takes a look, trying to make eye contact with Tonic, the paladin. And just as your eyes meet this child, with his little hand as he's being pulled away, he's waving frantically at you, and he gets pulled back. The elder of the group walks out of the tree line, an older Davian Mardukov. Looks to be in his 80s with a long, crooked, pointed nose. He has a hood on, the water's dripping down, all sorts of trinkets around his necklace, and a cane that the top of the cane resembles a raven's head. He steps out of the woodline and he looks over at the party. "Well, nephew, let's see what you can do." And he steps back into the woodline with the rest of the Mardukov family. Ladies and gentlemen, what would you like to do?
I do have something I'd like to do for my party. Slug, Cassidy, and Tonic. I'm going to point at them and look at them. And I'm casting a spell on the 3. It is Aid. So it heals you for 5, and it also increases your maximum HP for 5.
For how long?
8 hours.
Oh, shoot, nice.
So you get a healing of 5, and you get increased 5 for 8 hours.
All right.
Alright.
So you guys are together.
Well, we're gonna have to get past these scarecrows somehow.
Hey, are you familiar with these scarecrows? You seen them before?
To be honest, scarecrows, I don't know why, but they have always kind of freaked me out.
Same.
I mean, are they? Can you tell them to back off? Yeah.
This is not normal for scarecrows.
Maybe we could just try and ignore them and just walk right by.
I would say, considering the bodies surrounding them, that is already
The evil red glow
I
and
guess
the
you're
knives
right.
for hands.
Yeah, dead bodies in the field. That's a clue.
I guess you're right.
I suggest that we pick one flank, this side or that side, and work our way down.
Sounds reasonable.
Now, where you guys are at, behind the winery, are lots of trees. Brand, you were here many years ago as a child. You know there is one entrance in the back, but that's the only entrance you know of in the rear of the winery. But there, from where you're standing, you've got an open bay to a large barn area. You've got a horse stables. It appears to be from where you're at. There's objects in that stables, but you can't see from this distance. There's also a single door in the middle of the winery, and behind the 3 giant vats are 2 large barn doors.
Can I do a poopy thing and actually, as an action, just change into a crow and do the thing where you
Survey.
Yes.
get some height to see what else I can see?
Brand steps forward, and there's a puff of black smoke appears, and black feathers go everywhere. As the smoke dissipates, Brand is no more, but on the ground is a large, shiny black raven. Its head's cocking around, looking at all of you, and before the raven takes off, looks over at Sebra and sort of nods. And the raven takes off. You head towards the winery. You notice that the scarecrows are slowly moving about, and you only see 4. And they're basically in the front. As you scoop around the back, you do see a door. And like the door in the front, this one is boarded up, but even with more boards. And there are vines all around it entangled, so it indicates to you that this door has not been accessed in years. And it would probably take several hours to even try to pry those boards off. Going around the back, there are a few windows. They're caked up with dirt and dust you can't see. And you come back around, still dripping wet. And you land back. You turning back to human?
Yeah, I'll turn back to human. Nothing I can see in the surrounding area in terms of like what's around in the foliage that's around. If I look around,
Make
here,
a perception roll, please.
Just want to make sure this is it. That there isn't somebody like
It's not
running out of the woods.
too dense.
Yeah, as you fly
Army
around,
of zombies.
you're flying around, your wings are going. Even though it's afternoon, the sun is not there. It's a bright gray in the area. You can't see. You see basic stuff, but as far as looking for anything particular, you can't. So you're hovering by with your little wings, and you fly back to the group.
Okay.
A puff of smoke appears, feathers fly, and Bran, almost like Predator or Terminator, on his hands and knees, slowly gets up, but he has clothes on.
Thank goodness. Okay.
Damn it.
I need to get off here.
You want to turn them around, or do you want to try to taunt them?
I want that guy.
Like throw something at
I'll
them and
relate
try
to them what I saw and what I didn't see.
Okay.
Alright.
And then, again, I suggest we pick one side or the other and start flanking our way.
Oh, I apologize, my bad. You did see a door on the west side. It's ajar, it's open, but it's dark.
Okay.
And it's near an outhouse and a well.
So then I suggest we start with that guy
Yeah.
and see what we can
you try
get
to
out of that
try
way
to
and see
draw
what
him
these
out?
guys do.
Throw something at him and
Yeah.
you know.
You got those
I'll
Also-
reach into my
Does anyone happen to have an extra shield on them? In case
A shield?
I might have like learned how to use the shield over the last hour or so.
When Joy is asking the question about a shield, you notice Piddlewick, he's not holding Joy's hand, but he's standing in the rain, his head back, his robotic eyes, mechanical eyes are actually closed, and his mouth is open, and his hands are out. He almost seems like he's in bliss, enjoying the water hitting his little mechanical body.
I think you just found your shield.
pick him up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll reach into my pack of ball bearings. And you guys want me to try to get it towards us, you said?
Just try to taunt one of
I
them.
would like us to,
Let's
to,
all
to flank. Like,
move to
Yeah,
one
let's
side.
move to one
and
side.
then-
Otherwise,
yeah.
we're dealing with all of
I mean, do you want me to try to throw it at it so it comes towards us? or you want to run at it?
No, I would throw it. 'Cause you don't know what's in that. I mean, we think maybe you killed it. What if there's traps?
Okay, so yeah, let's make our way closer that way, and then I can kind of.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
like 30 feet.
Yeah, put the beef in front, and then we'll stand.
Yeah.
Now again, theater of the mind is there's trees all around this area.
Put the beef in the
Beef
front.
yeah.
That is a barbarian half-orc name.
We're about 31
On the
feet
beef.
from this guy.
Okay.
Call me beef.
And you're gonna toss a ball.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, as you're walking stealth-like, I just want to go around the table. Stealth check starting. We're gonna try to keep it one at a time, please. Starting with Cassidy.
17.
13.
Good. And nice and loud, guys.
21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Killing it today, brother.
Continue.
Okay.
9.
Stop.
9.
Okay.
9.
The three of you are walking to the point where you could barely even hear yourselves. Seeing the puddles, you're one with the rain. It's almost like perfect shadows moving along the tree line. And then, to your horror, you start hearing splash, splash, cracks of breaking twigs, and horrible noise. And you look back at the three of them, and they all stop, almost Scooby-Doo, and you guys all make eye contact.
Okay.
We should just stop the rain.
The scarecrow turns its head into the direction where you guys are at. He's looking and peering, and he hasn't noticed you yet, but one more messed up roll,
Okay.
you'll probably see. He actually takes a few steps forward, his leg almost drags like lifeless, and he's still staring in your direction. His eyes still pulsating with red arcane energy. So, you guys all stop. Now, you three are fine. You three will have to do one more roll, so we're going to start with, now you got plate mail, right?
Chainmail.
Chainmail?
Yep.
Alright, that's going to be noisy.
That's a little clinky, huh?
Yep. Disadvantage, go.
Disadvantage.
Nah, I needed that.
Okay.
Oh no.
18.
Oh.
13.
Okay. At that moment, you two walk very quiet-like, but then you hear the sounds of squeaking armor and sloshing around. You guys all cringe as you look at him, and when you make contact with him,
What's going on, guys?
the next thing you hear is the scarecrow growling and shouting. The other scarecrows turn their heads around, and they start advancing in your direction.
All of them?
All of them.
Not in your
Yeah. Let's go.
That's kind of figured.
Okay, where you guys are at, you could probably dash, but we're gonna do initiative. If you guys dash, you could probably make it into that side door, or you could try to fight them. It's up to you. Now, normally scarecrows are dry, but they are drenched wet. So, with that said, I'm gonna roll for initiative. Good job, Paladin. You went from the hero to the ghost.
It's okay.
Even
He has to live up to
past
Vigo's
them, you
dream.
probably have to deal with them later, I'd imagine.
Little Vigo didn't like dream him sneaking along. He's smiting stuff.
Okay, what'd you get?
I'm gonna blink for all this.
21.
7.
What's it called? Joy got a 20 and Piddlewick got a 21.
Oh, Piddlewick.
You go first.
What did you get? 21?
21.
Piddlewick goes first.
Who's going first? Piddlewick. Give me a sec, guys. Let me get a marker out.
Run up. Go for a little bit.
He has a little crossbow dart. Look at this. Paralyzes.
Okay, so it's Piddlewick, Cassidy, and Joy. What did you get, sir?
12.
6.
And Haslug, you got
7.
You're last.
I am.
Okay, Piddlewick, he looks up at you. He almost gets into a cute defensive stance, as if you just summoned a Pokemon. The little bells ring in his head as he cocks back. He looks at you, he sees what's advancing, he looks back at you, and
Go! Kill it!
Do it.
Pitlick hears go kill, and his little hands start running, and he's slashing through the mud, running across towards. So we're gonna say that he can make it over to that scarecrow. Let's put Pitlick next to him.
The Terminator 2.
He'll stay a little bit away because he's gonna do a range attack.
Okay. As Pitlick
Like
jumps
30
over
feet.
2 rows of grapevines, he takes out this long, colorful striped dart gun, blow gun, whatever, and he holds it up.
What is it?
All right, he has advantage because the person has acted. So that is 19 on the die plus 7, 26.
That is an amazing hit. The dart goes flying across and hits the scarecrow. Damage.
That is 8 points of damage. And he has to make a DC 12 Constitution save against poison or be paralyzed for 1 minute.
All right.
And suffers 2d8 poison damage.
And immunities, no poison. All right, here we go. I rolled a 19.
Okay. So he takes half. That is 5 points of damage.
And with the piercing is what?
Or so. Sorry, that was 3. That's 8. 8 piercing and 5 poison. I already did the half.
Good job, pedal whip.
Yeah.
That's some work.
As the maw of the scarecrow opens up, the dart flies into its mouth. It staggers and starts coughing up. You see a green mist of poison cough outward. The dart spits out on the ground. Pitlick turns back and forth, and he looks at you, and his little hand comes up and does this.
Yeah, I return it. Good job.
Cassidy, or you're up.
Okay, so from where I'm at, is that more than 30 feet or no?
No, we're like 30 feet away.
Yeah, 30 feet, exactly.
That is 30 feet
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. How's it looking? Is it looking like it
It looks to you, it looks fine.
looks perfectly fine? Okay, I'm not getting that
I know.
Move me to a little bit behind Pitaway there. And I'm going to pull out my crossbow and shoot from where I'm at.
Okay.
And I rolled a nat 1.
Okay, you shoot it. The rain messes you up, and while you're doing this, Pitlick is jumping up and down with excitement. Since you rolled a nat 1,
Yeah.
and Pitlick is between he and the scarecrow, we're gonna roll a percentile die of 10.
Okay.
And
I'm kind of in the middle too. Is there a chance to get it?
no, sorry, buddy.
Okay, 21%. That's what I got.
21%. Roll damage.
Is that a sneak attack or no?
He wasn't expecting it.
4.
Pitlick gets blasted in the back.
Ooh, that's a big chunk of cell.
For the crossbow, Pitlick actually falls face first into the dirt, the mud.
Yeah.
Water splashes all around Pitlick. The bells are ringing. Pitlick turns around for the first time. You guys see his eyes bright red as he looks over at Cassidy with anger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, mate. But I have crossbow expert, so I can prep it and do another shot.
Go for it.
Another
one.
That is 21.
That is a hit.
Okay. And that is 6 damage.
The bolt flies, hits the shoulder. It staggers a bit, takes your bolt and just drops it to the ground. It's almost like it took half damage.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm sorry I hit your little kid.
You should be.
I wasn't very lucky.
How's Pitlick doing?
Not great. That was almost half of his health.
All right. Next up is going to be Joy.
Joy is going to stay there, and she's going to shoot her crossbow at that guy, at that whatchamacallit, that scarecrow. Oh, there's a 2 on the die. That does not hit. The rain. Oh shit.
Your crossbow shoots, and it comes right towards Pitlick. And this time he jumps back and he looks at you, and his eyes pulsate red, but then suddenly dissipates as you barely hit Pitlick. The bolt goes flying in the distance and gets impaled on a wood barrel in the back.
Sorry.
Anything else, sir?
Bonus action to our paladin. Like, hey buddy, that little kid believes in you, and so do I. Bardic inspiration for you.
Bardic inspiration towards Tonic.
You can, on a ability check, attack roll, a saving throw, you can roll d6 and add it.
Let's move. Okay, the scarecrow that took damage, I'd like him to move forward up to Cassidy as he walks over everything. Passes Pitlick. He's going to attack You see his hands come up with these claws,
Yeah. Shit.
and he swings sloppily. What's your AC?
15.
As this thing swings its hands, you see Cassidy spin around with his cape and fold back, almost Matrix style, and completely misses from being hit. Very fancy move. It misses. The other one, let's move him up to where Piddlewick is, and move the other one to that one, and the other one to that one.
Well,
And let's see. Hold
our
up.
attacks aren't very effective.
The scarecrow, not the one that swung at you, the scarecrow that moves closer. He makes eye contact with you, and you see it, and suddenly you start getting chills through your body, and you start shaking. The rest of you are ready for combat. You see Casson, who's extremely brave, suddenly almost like he's freezing up. I need you to make a saving throw, sir.
Alright.
This is going to be a wisdom.
I'm gonna use a luck point.
From that height. So
Reroll that one.
Okay?
Resistance to normal bludgeoning piercing.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna push him over.
8.
And the scarecrow suddenly terrifies you to the point where you've never felt fear like this before. You actually see Cassidy stand and shake and drop his crossbow, and he's almost frozen in fear. You're terrified, sir.
I'm terrified.
And paralyzed. He's just standing there in the open, defenseless, shaking, as these other scarecrows are slowly walking towards this vulnerable ally. Tonic, you're up.
Do you have no rings?
There's a lot going on here.
No rings?
Oh, yes.
I used the luck point.
Young lady, would you please?
Yeah, that's
If I use it on the first one, I've only had one.
So I've got a javelin. So I'm gonna
Say it again?
I have a javelin, which I'm gonna stab with. I'm not throwing it. I'm just using it like a spear.
Okay.
Doing a sacred weapon, which turns into a +1 magical weapon.
Wow.
And I'm going to go ahead and stab this one right here in front of Cass.
Must be nice.
I'm feeling worse. Yeah, 20.
Nice!
Ooh! Yes, first one of the night.
I roll again.
I'm terrified.
Max damage, right?
He got a nat 20.
Hey!
He's Paladin, who saved everybody's ass in the last session, jumps from the rain, runs out with a freaking spear, javelin, impels this. Well, how much damage does he take full?
So it would be 6 plus 6.
Okay, so he's gonna take 12 points. It's a 6-point javelin.
Yes.
All right, he's gonna take 6 automatically. All right, so now you're gonna roll for damage, and then we're gonna double that. So you're gonna add on your modifier to that. Not your proficiency, just your modifier. So roll. 3.
And then my modifier is +4.
Okay, so it's 7, and it's gonna be double, so it's 14. Paladin runs out, and you see him impale with his javelin and lift the scarecrow up in the air. The scarecrow seems to gag for a second, makes a horrible noise. And suddenly falls lifeless. And you see his hands dangling as you're holding it up. Slams it on the ground. Good job. Nice. Anything else, sir? Good job. I know I have to take care of somebody first this game. Rand, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to ready my hand crossbow and my short sword, one in one.
Okay.
I'm going to go straight for the second one.
Okay.
Still standing.
You don't have proficiency with crossbows, right? No.
I don't have any
Expert.
mark. Period.
Okay, so I would. Okay, so what are you gonna do?
I would like to use the multi-attack though on that. May I?
You can, but you'll be disadvantaged when you get close with the crossbow. So
What about if I
if you shoot it from the
shoot first,
no, it's
then run?
no.
No, they got to be consecutive.
Yep.
All right, so how about this? I'm going to run up on it, and I am going to leave the crossbow out and held in one hand still, use a short sword attack. I heard it talking before. I heard them mumbling.
Yes.
Can I try to mimic some of the words or the language that I heard in any way?
All right. So what would you like to do? You want to mimic?
Just mimic some of the sounds.
Okay. Now it's gonna be an action. I'm gonna full action.
Okay, all right.
So that's not a light weapon. So that'll be an interaction. So now.
Okay, all right. So let me just go ahead and straight up try to hit.
That works.
Bran goes running out with his short sword in one hand and his crossbow in the other. What are you hitting with first?
Well, I'm only going to hit with the short sword.
Okay, so could you guys move on close to this scarecrow?
It's going to be pretty. 8.
Your crossbow goes into its body, pulls out straw, which straw falls out, but does nothing to it whatsoever. Its eyes light up red, its mouth opens up, and it gives out a nasty growl. Anything else, sir? Okay. You feel something come next to you and put its back towards you, and it's actually Piddlewick, almost as if he's trying to back you up.
Okay.
And he stands back. You hear the jingling sounds of his head as he's looking around, and he's standing next to you.
Nice.
Okay, next up is Aslug, the Bloodbringer.
Gonna
Half orc, ladies and gentlemen.
so I'm just gonna run it straight at it, and I'm gonna just try to just throw my body at him and knock him down and
All right.
get my people to the side.
You start running, and you're jumping over the vines, and you see it. You're gonna hit it. First, you're gonna hit it.
My strength modifier?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 10.
And that's with your. That's all you did.
Yeah, 10.
You go to hit it, and it actually steps to the side. You graze it with your body.
11.
You graze it with your body, and you just barely miss it. As its head turns and it wobbles back, almost contorting its body, kind of like a rag doll. And you miss it completely. You stop, and you glide. All the water and the mud shoots up in the air, and you get mud all over your face. As you turn around, you completely miss. Are you doing anything else, sir?
From behind it, I missed.
Yeah, you had your attack, but if there's anything else, any bonus actions or...
Nope.
You're not behind it.
Okay.
Went and fell. Yeah.
And finally, Zebra!
Alright, jeez Louise. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame,
Okay.
and that's a dex saving throw.
Which number?
Higher than 13.
No, which scarecrow?
Oh, 13.
Point to 13? Oh, right there. Okay, so yeah.
Yes, focus fire, you don't be.
Okay.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
I rolled a 10.
Oh, a 1. 1 damages of my whole D8.
How did you summon your sacred flame?
Well, it's a very tiny flame this time. I'm very tired, so it's just a little ball of flame in my...
Shoots out. It hits it, and it looks down. Now, because it's I'll say it's fire. We'll double that. So he takes 2 points of fire damage. 2.
Oh,
Ooh.
2!
Yep. And it quickly fizzles out with the rain.
I think it's radiant, actually.
I think it is radiant. It's sacred radiant
okay.
fire.
That's fine. I'll give it to you. Now we're going top of the order. Piddlewick. Standing next to Bran.
Piddlewick is going to take out his little baton, his little club, and just try to smash this guy right here, right next to him. Number 13. That is that is 10 to hit.
As Piddlewick leaps up in the air, he tries to bounce and leapfrog off of Bran's shoulder. And he does get on Bran's shoulder, but slips and misses completely and falls in the mud. But gracefully, he rolls, pops back up. He looks over at
It's
you
okay, buddy.
and nods his head as water in the bills start jigging and falling down. He's looking for approval, more or less.
Good job, Piddlewick.
How's that be? Cassidy, you're up.
Alright, so I need to make a saving throw.
And it's number 15, and what's the other number of that?
13, 14, 16.
Got it. 16?
Yeah.
13, 14.
Got it. Cassidy, what are you doing?
Do I need to make a
think
saving
it's at the
throw?
end, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. 14.
You break the spell, sir. Woo!
Son of a bitch. Alright.
I'll let you get.
I'm angry now that I,
Snap out of it.
And I'm just gonna run straight towards that scarecrow.
What number is that again?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Gio.
What'd you roll?
91.
And that one.
You better not stab them. I know.
For anybody watching at home, that's our second nat 1 that we received today.
From me.
I know.
Okay, so I attack with my rapier. I at least attempt to attack with my rapier.
You run up with your rapier and you slip in the mud, and you go as you go forward. You see both Piddlewick and Bran standing next to you, and their eyes open up like deers in a headlight. Roll a percentile die, please.
I hope I get Bran,
Joy
because I don't want to kill Piddlewick.
plays
I'm
out.
sorry, man. 46.
Take a 4-sided die.
Yeah.
Roll it. Piddlewick is 1 and 2. Bran 3 and 4.
3.
Roll damage.
Hey.
Do I need to do sneak attack or no?
No.
Okay, good. Thanks.
God.
I'm sorry, that would hurt really bad.
Always ready to apply sneak attack, regardless of the opponent.
That is 8.
Hey, being aware,
Oh.
being aware, Raven. I think I give you a resistance.
So what?
Resistance to piercing, slashing.
Is it half? I hope it's half.
So we're gonna.
Piercing and slash.
Yes, so you're gonna hit half, 4 points.
So 4 points. Oh, thank God. I'm so sorry.
You get up.
Never paid attention to that before.
You get up in the mud, and you see Piddlewick holding his shoulder where he was just stabbed with your blade. And not only is Piddlewick looking at you, even Bran, who's actually kind of nice. This is the first time you see Bran. Bran, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Okay, I have a second attack since I have crossbow experience. And that's a nat 20. Okay.
Whoa.
One extra for the
The
other.
second attack from the ground, he shoots with his crossbow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alright, and you don't get disadvantage because you're a crossbow expert?
Crossbow expert.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the max damage first off with the crossbow?
Okay, max damage would be for just the crossbow. What about my sneak attack?
What I do, if people watching at home, is if you roll a nat 20, you're automatically going to get the max damage of whatever weapon you're using. Then we're going to double whatever your dice roll is.
Okay, so it's 6.
Okay, so I'm not just taking 6 points of damage.
And then
Nice.
so let's see. So that's 6 right here. So it's 12, 18 total.
18 damage?
18 damage total. Yeah.
From the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me he's dead, right?
18, what number was that?
13.
He's extremely bloody. As your crossbow finds its mark in its torso, knocking out a huge area where you actually see a hole in its torso. It staggers back, and for the first time, you see the eyes flicker, almost fade out, and it's barely standing. Your crossbow sails off into the distance.
Next to the.
Good job.
We're surrounding. This is the guy.
No, he's surrounded.
Oh, put me in there.
14. Are they advancing on this as we're doing this?
But they will the
On
next
their
turn.
turn,
will
on
on
their
their
turn.
turn.
Any teacher, is there a quiz today?
Oh my goodness! I got a nat 1 and a nat 20.
I am that kid. I'm lawful neutral. I will remind everyone of all things.
Joy,
Beneficial and
being the protective mother that you are, you see Piddlewick out there. He's getting damaged and hurt. He's next to Bran. There's craziness going on. What would you like to do?
I would like to. That guy looks pretty hurt. I am going to. I can't roll low again. I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at this guy that's surrounded by our
Okay, you rolled a nat 1 last time. Let's see you do it again.
I rolled a
Nat
nat 2
1.
last
All
time.
DMs, nat 1. Nat.
13 plus 4, 17 to hit.
That's a hit. Your bolt flies right across.
Oh, boo. That's a 1. That's a 3 points of damage.
And
Which one were you hitting?
13.
even more bloody.
You go, and the 3 points. Explain to the people how you dispatch this scarecrow.
All right. Joy's protective motherly instincts for Piddlewick are light, and she raises her crossbow, sees like all this like puffle, and just levels it straight into the head of this scarecrow, and it falls lifeless to the ground.
It drops. Good job. 2 left. 2 left. Now it's my turn. That scarecrow, we're going to move him to the party. He is going to. How many people there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go.
Lucky number 1.
I got here.
Oh, it's gonna be 1, 2. Oh, there's 5 people there, right?
There's,
No, 3
no,
and
it's-
Piddling.
Acid and the slug.
It's 5, right?
5 potential targets.
Okay. 1, 2.
Four.
Oh, what about Piddling?
Yeah,
Piddling.
including Piddling.
And what about you?
Yeah,
It's only them.
yeah,
It's
it's.
only
Where's Aslug?
I'm on the
He's
left.
over there.
Here.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
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 okay, here we go.
Slug.
1, 2, Piddlewick, and 4. Piddlewick is 3.
Give it to me.
Oh, it's on an angle.
Give it to me. 3.
No!
Oh, it was supposed to be Cassidy.
And
Supposed to be you.
for the Scarecrow's turn, as it reaches for Piddlewick, it actually shoves Piddlewick out the way. For some reason, these Scarecrows aren't interested in hurting it,
Okay.
and that's his turn.
Cool.
So now we're
Nice.
Piddlewick moving 5 feet.
Oddly enough, that was the best.
The other Scarecrow, let's move into the group. Same numbers. 4, Bran. You were always told, if you ever see a Scarecrow in the field, never look into his eyes. But on this occasion, Bran, you looked into the Scarecrow's eyes. The eyes start flashing red and everything starts getting wavy and you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand. Your body starts to shake with fear. I need a saving throw.
15. Do I add anything?
Plus wisdom.
Oh, wisdom, that's 2.
And you snap out of whatever trance you're about to go in, and you hear voices of family telling you, nightmares aren't real, nightmares aren't real. And you snap out of a trance as this thing was trying to make you terrified of it. Good
Ransom, look
job.
at his eyes.
Next up is Teutonic.
Alright, take one.
Get him, man.
Neither one's-
Get in my genjutsu.
Neither of them are injured, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll do number
They're both
14.
fresh.
Speak up again loud.
I'll do number 14.
Okay. With your javelin?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, I
You
got
guys are beast today.
I had my charisma bonus
Plus
because it's
6.
the secret, so I have like 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Don't forget your divine smite.
I don't. Let's hold off. I don't know when that. 5. Let's do 11 points. Wait, do I get to add at any point, or is it every time I
It's
attack?
either the attack roll or saving throw. So, but you already hit. So.
But your attack rolls are pretty good.
Gio could use them.
The javelin goes across his body. Straw flies everywhere.
Like a,
Yeah.
I have a shield as well.
Oh, nice. So it's a Spartan kind of shit, yeah.
Exactly.
As you hit and you pull back, lots of straw just comes out outward. As it looks down and his eyes flicker, it's somewhat bloody. Rand.
Alright, the one that just got injured, I am going to kind of jump on its back and drive my short blade into it.
I will let you do it, but let's try a dexterity abilities check of 10 or higher.
Hell
It makes
yeah.
it 10 plus.
Just do it. Bran, you throw your cape back, your hood, and you leap up in the air, slow motion, and you jump on its back, and you lift up your short sword.
And 16.
That is a hit. You drive it straight down its head.
3 points of damage.
It actually drops down to one knee. And you pull it back, you jump off of it, and you know you did a lot of damage to it, where the eyes are almost dissipated completely. Next up is Aslug, Bloodbringer.
So it's on one knee, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna go for the headshot.
You're gonna get advantage, okay?
Well, it's also got a reckless attack, right?
What are you using?
You don't have
Great axe.
He holds his great axe up.
18. They're both 18.
Yeah, you hit him.
And
That's awesome.
D12.
plus 4, and 5 damage.
We're all rolling ones for damage.
That was the guy that was already hurt because of Bran,
Yeah,
right?
he's on one
Yeah,
knee.
14.
Describe to the party how you dispatch this creature.
As he's on one knee, I grab my axe and just chop the head straight off.
Good job, he's gone. One Scarecrow left. It's not scared, but it's standing and it's looking around for its next victim. But, Sebra!
I will go ahead and try and muster up a nice bigger flame for my sacred flame.
Sacred Flame, go for it!
Dexterity saving throw, please.
Ah, your flame is gonna do lots of damage. Gotta roll a 5.
Oh my god!
And she did another 2, so this beautiful hand somatic gesture and poof, a little flame comes out and 1 and 2 points of magical fire damage.
Ember.
Well, it's no longer fresh.
Yeah.
Now has some damage.
And we are top of the order.
Really hard, guys.
Frustrated little Piddlewick is angry. His head is looking around and he looks over at the final scarecrow. His eyes light up brighter red than the scarecrow's in anger. What's he doing?
He's going to pull out his little tiny crossbow and shoot its little dart at it. Never mind, that's a 10
1?
to hit. No,
A 10?
10 to hit, yeah.
Now it just misses. The dart flies elsewhere. Piddlewick frantically is grabbing another dart, getting ready for the next round. Cassidon.
Alright, run at it with my rapier. Throw it right at it.
Rapier. He's gonna roll another 1, people. Watch.
Hey,
Don't you put that bad juju. That is a 24.
That is a hit.
Alright.
Good job.
Glad I'm not up there.
Get him, big guy.
Okay, that is 14 damage.
What?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, just describe that hit for everyone watching.
Alright, I'm running towards it, trying to weave my way through people in the rain, and right towards its head, I thrust my rapier right through it. Pull it out. Hay everywhere.
Hay is everywhere.
It is very bloody.
The bloody hair.
We have like, people who hit really, really hard, and then I have my little one.
And it is really messed up, but now it is
I'm glad to have you guys.
Joy.
Alright, Joy looks at the scarecrow and says, if you murder the murdered, you have no purpose in life, because you're a scarecrow, right? And she attempts to, like, vicious mockery it.
Vicious mockery, hell yeah.
So it's a wisdom save 14.
Hold on, I'm just making sure, like, if I have any
Oh yeah,
this.
if it's immune to like psychic damage, then it's all immune to.
Multi-attack, terrifying glare. No, it is not. So, as you guys hear this insults flying from Joy, and you're trying to figure out what the hell Joy's doing, the scarecrow actually starts looking and shaking and staring at her. What do I have to do?
Wisdom save 14.
You can't scare a scarecrow, sir. 18. That's gonna be an 18.
Okay.
As it looks at you, stop shaking, and it goes into an offensive stance. And because you got its attention, it goes for you. As both his hands come up with these razor-sharp knives, it swings wildly, spinning around.
Oh, I'm like 30 feet away from it.
30 feet away.
Oh, yes, move it closer to it. Oh, wait, no, that's...
It'll take...
Yeah, he's not going to be able... He's still going to advance.
Oh, okay.
Are we all gonna get a chance? Roll a circle.
Yes,
We all
yes.
get
Everyone's gonna, it's so pissed off, it forgets about its own safety and opportunity attack because it wants to take out Joy. It leaves the group, and everyone's gonna get 3 opportunity attacks.
You get one. That is a...
You get 1, and you get 1.
22.
That is a hit.
Alright.
You get sneak attack.
Do I?
Yeah, because it's a different turn.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, that's...
I think it might be
That's 18 damage.
Right.
See, I will help us in all with my rules.
As it goes to run, you see Cassidy reach up and grab it by its collar. Explain how you take this creature out.
Grab it by its collar, pull it back towards me, and ram the rapier back through its chest.
And it drops to the ground, motionless. The whole entire field grows quiet.
Ooh, man.
Can't redeem himself from those party
Not
injuries.
one.
Some of you guys have, it looks like excess of blood, but it's actually the sweat mixing with a little bit of cuts dripping down your faces. And you all look at each other, making sure you're okay. You hear the subtle jingles of Piddlewick's head turning left and right, and he immediately starts wobbling and running towards Joy and holds its hand up.
I grab his hand and I say, good job.
And Piddlewick runs to your side and starts just looking around behind you, checking out the area.
I do
So,
have a question.
yes.
Is Piddlewick able to be healed? Like, can I use my healer's kit on him? Because he's almost dead.
Yes, I'll allow it.
Okay,
Cool.
so I'm gonna
Thank you.
use my healer's kit. That's 8, and then his...
Max health.
Yes, okay, good.
Good job. Piddle gets back in the game.
Killed him with one hit.
Yeah, you can. I was like, oh no.
I pat him on the head.
So where you're at now in this field, there's multiple dead bodies. It looks like they've been lying there a long time. You can just tell by the decomposition. A lot of faces are bloated. Some of them, half their faces are gone for the rats in the area eating them. You also see lots of dead ravens. You, Bran, start getting emotional because some of these bodies and artifacts you recognize as children, they're now adults that you grew up with. You also see dead ravens that you two know that these are were-ravens that somehow came to the area to help, but were killed and slaughtered. So as the rest of you all like, yeah, we did it, you notice Bran standing in the rain, just looking very dismal and sad.
I'm gonna look back at Andre and kind of glare back at him now, because I'm looking down at our kin on the floor.
He mumbles something in the distance. If you make a perception roll of 15 or higher, you'll hear it.
Guidance, 1d4. Oh, is that gonna help?
How far away is he?
I almost
He's there. This is a wood line of trees, so you're gonna say this is probably about a good 60 yards away.
If I yell, they can hear me?
At this point, I'm thinking, how dare he allow this to happen and to make light of this.
Right.
You rolled really shitty.
And he is making light of this. Something's up with Bran Mardukov, or Andre Mardukov, yeah. So
Who's hiding in the woods now?
they all go back in the tree line. Andre glares in your direction. You can't tell he's looking at you, but you have an idea he is. And he sort of steps back into the shadows of the rest of the Mardukov clan. And now you guys stand in front of the Wizard of Wine's winery.
So I'm gonna grab one of the scarecrow's heads.
Okay?
I'm gonna throw it over at them. Toss it over into the woods.
And when you do that, the little children, there's 3 of them, are standing there watching this holy paladin. So
Yes. I'm throwing it over to him, but I'm gonna say like, don't worry, we'll make sure nothing else comes to get you.
let's do a. I want you to do a persuasion roll. If you fail this, these kids are gonna be freaked out. Are you sure you want to do this?
From my dad, you get a 1d4 if you need
I
it.
have a charisma. 16.
Especially with one of the kids that I like.
I know.
6 also.
Vigo.
You have a bardic inspiration.
Vigo.
As you see him reaching down, he severs one of the straw heads. He's holding him. He looks pissed off, and you see him looking over at the Mardukovs, looking at the head. And you guys notice 3 children that were in the tree line.
Can I try to stay
Okay,
him?
can I punt it then? Can I just like drop kick it? Drop kick the head over the wall building there?
Yeah, and you do a hell of a job. As it goes sailing up into the rain, the floppy hat spins like a saucer, and it gets landed on the roof, and a bunch of frisbees fall off. Okay, so here we are. Now, from where you're at, there are 3 entrances. You've got a side entrance that was originally it's ajar. You've got 2 large barn doors behind those giant bats. You have a front door. It appears to be pieces of wood hammered to it. You've got a huge barn. That doors are wide open, and you have some type of shed to the left, an animal shed or an outhouse that's open. It's open.
It's closed, right?
That's gonna be open. Yep. So.
Sneak around the side door here.
I just want to go right in without warning.
I think we should see if there's any animals or anything in there.
Or anything to find in this
Yeah.
maybe.
How about if we, since we're here, just kind of make a sweep this area? These are things.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Looking for clues or some
Yeah.
idea about what's going on
Yep.
here. I guess we'll just go from this way to this way to this way to.
Okay.
That's okay with the.
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing you see is this well. It's an old well with lots of moss around it, and if you're looking down, it's about a 40-foot drop into darkness, and there's a foul stench of pure sewage at the bottom of the well. Actually makes you guys cringe a little bit, but you see nothing else of value. Next to that is an outhouse. But however, unlike the well, this has a sweet-smelling herbs aroma coming from the outside as you see their eaves all around it in a circle. They try to make it pleasant. The door is closed, and there is a crescent moon on the door itself.
I tell the party, give me 5 minutes, please, just 5 minutes. Should we look inside the outhouse?
I'm gonna look down the whole outhouse.
Yeah.
All right, you take a peek, and it's actually kind of dark. Because it's dark out. It's afternoon, but in Barovia it's always dark. As you look, you try to peer, but it's you really can't see much from that crescent. You're opening it.
Yeah.
What's your AC?
14.
You reach up, you grab the door, and when you do, at least 3 dozen dead ravens just come pouring out and surround your feet to the ground. you almost gasping. I want you to make a Constitution roll. 10 or higher. The emotions of everything has hit you. When he opens this door and all these dead ravens fall out, you just collapse on the ground, and you guys hear a splash, and you hear Bran actually crying. A grown man, not bawling, but you hear him, tears coming down, he's breathing heavy, and he is just mortified. To you, these are just birds, but to him, these are family and friends.
Rest in peace, little ravens.
You compose yourself, sir. There's some tissues for you. Several walks over. She says some encouraging words to you, and you sort of pull yourself together, and you get up. The rain has washed away most of your tears, and you definitely don't want to take a second look at these bodies, these ravens that are all over the ground.
Kill the kid that called me Dad. You got this.
Okay, so where you're at now, there is a door that's ajar. You have these vats, a veranda, and 2 large doors. What would you like to do?
You want to look at the bats?
Okay. Resting on a flagstone base, there's this veranda. You see there are 3 5-foot diameter wooden tubs, and inside the tubs you could peek inside. It's stained with some type of grape juice. But other than that, they're empty. Each tub has a short ladder bolted to the sides of the devices themselves. And at the back of the veranda are 2 large sliding wooden doors. This is probably where they bring the grapes. They put them in there, and they walk up and they start crushing them.
Nothing fancy in there?
Nothing fancy in there except the 2 doors.
The door on this side is open.
There is a small door on the side that's open, which you guys haven't looked at. Azlug, you go to grab the doors there, you shake it, and it's locked. Even you're having a hard time opening it. You could try to pull it.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Can I check it for traps? See if there's anything on that door.
Make a roll.
What door are you checking?
Double door.
Double doors here.
Double doors.
14.
Upon looking at it, and you see him getting on his knees, and he's squinting and looking, you see that through the tiny crack, there are massive chains on the other side of the door. No traps, but it's locked from the inside.
Well, so a big boot wouldn't do anything.
You could try.
No.
Should we look over there in that open area
Walk around, yeah.
before we go inside?
Yeah, I agree.
The next time we get through the door.
Yeah, so we'll make our way towards this door here.
Yeah, well, we're gonna come back so we
Yeah.
can keep it unless fighting happens.
Okay. Let's move everybody closer in that direction then. Yep.
Answers that?
No, we're on the other side.
Joy, as you guys are going across Piddlewick, he's reaching for your hand.
Yeah, I hold it.
And he gently holds your hand, almost like a child to a mother. And occasionally, he's always looking up at you. His face has no expression, but you could tell he's almost content every time he holds your warm hand.
Is Piddlewick happy with me that I healed him?
Make an insight check.
Well,
Piddlewick lets go of your hand. He actually runs to you, grabs onto your leg tightly, and he rests and his eyes close as he holds on. And you see this, and it's almost a very tender moment.
I'm gonna pat his
Look at
head.
that.
Pat, pat, pat.
And you do that, and the little bells in his hat jingle. His eyes open up very daringly towards you. And he looks back at his mother, Joy, and he goes squatting in the mud and running across, and he grabs onto Joy's hand once again.
This thing is gonna chuck you.
I'm very
And
happy.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I am attached now.
This is my baby.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
Joy, I like him. He's very sweet.
Me too, yeah.
Very sweet.
He's very sweet.
Okay, now you go by this barn-looking doors. Obviously, the model doors aren't open, but they're wide open in the game. Parked aside from what you can see is a dock, is a large wagon. It appears to have 3 overturned barrels in the bed. Above, a raised wooden walk. I mean, not above. On the sides is a raised wooden walkway that runs to the west, south, and east walls. From where you're at, you see there's a huge hole in the ceiling and a wooden crane or an arm with a rope dangling on the second level. At the far end, from where you can see, there are 2 doors to the south and southeast that are plainly visible. One door is open, the other one is closed. So, it's from the outside what you can see. And now to the left, these are stables. You see the stables, and there are actually 2 dead horses lying in hay, and flies dance all around their bodies. There's no movement whatsoever, and from looking at them, you can tell their bodies have been lacerated multiple times by some sharp objects. Doesn't take a blind man to see that it was probably the scarecrows that tore apart these poor animals that still have ropes around their necks. I'm not their necks, or ropes chained to the sides so they couldn't escape.
Yes, it is. It is
And
pain.
they're all dead.
Yeah, they're dead. There's nothing else of value inside whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who's going first into the barn?
Barn doors, sweet.
Barn doors?
I'll go.
You wanna go?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take a quick timeout. I'm gonna set up a map. If you guys want to stretch your legs, people are streaming. It's gonna be about 5 minutes, so just give us a break. We have to do a set piece. Okay, guys, let's take a break.
Yep.
Send the beefs in first.
Yeah, always.
Beefs. Where's the beef?
It's always you and Tonic first.
Keep
Where's
in
the
the back.
beef?
Y'all don't even need to ask. You guys are just first.
Joey's like, I'm gonna go.